Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Corey, better known as the C-Man, and I want to welcome you to another edition of the C-Man's Cinema Sit-Down. As you can see, I've got my Riddler-inspired The Batman t-shirt on. You got Bats right here in the middle. And that's because we were getting ready to take a look at a little something from The Batman that nobody's seen. I've seen the movie 7 times. I ain't never seen this clip. And it features a friend, so to speak, of the Riddler. If you have seen the movie, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you have not seen the movie, I would recommend just gotta walk in yourself on now. Go see the movie, then come back, because this is gonna have major spoilers. We're gonna be talking about some stuff. We're gonna be seeing some stuff that would give away major things from the Batman. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I think it's just me and all my Batman peeps. So why don't you pull up a chair, take a seat. We are getting ready to take a look at the deleted Arkham Asylum scene that features the Batman and the Joker. That's right. After the Batman released, Matt Reeves waited a little bit, but did confirm that Barry Keoghan's cameo at the end of the movie was indeed him playing this world's version of the Joker. And in an interview, Reeves had talked about how originally Keoghan had 2 scenes. There was a scene early in the movie where Batman goes back to Arkham Asylum to visit an inmate of somebody that he put in there himself to try to get a read on what the Riddler's next move might be. And when he goes back to Keoghan's character. Now, this is apparently the Joker before he becomes the Joker. But this is in a world where Keoghan has like a congenital disease that creates his face to be in a permanent smile all the time. Reeves had mentioned The Man Who Laughs as kind of inspiration to give a different look and a different take. And he said, the Joker is one of those iconic characters, and it's been done so many times and done so well so many times. We got to come with something different, and bring your own energy each go. And, he'd even said, you saw Heath Ledger. He wins an Oscar. How can you ever go back to that character? Joaquin Phoenix comes back next, and he wins an Oscar. So, the bar is really high, and Reeves was well aware of that. Even though Keoghan's face was always supposed to be obstructed in some way, you never get a clean shot of it, they went full in on the makeup, which is why I'm very interested to see this, because the little bit that you can see in that scene toward the end of the movie, I'm intrigued. And originally, Reeves had removed both scenes, but after the movie ends and you get that scene where Selina's trying to convince Bruce to stay, convince Bruce to go, not stay, because the city will eventually kill him. He really felt that the scene with Riddler and the Joker becoming friends was super important to the movie, not so much the first one. So we are finally going to get a look at what this conversation between the Batman and Joker before he's completely Joker. I'm so interested to see, because I felt like some of the hair definitely had, in the shadows, it looked like it could be green. It kind of had a coif to it that looked similar to some takes on the Joker. But his face certainly looked deformed. So I'm really, really interested to take a look at this. I think it's 5 minutes long. So we are about to get a full taste of a potential scene that could have been in the Batman and then was taken out. And we will get our most in-depth look, I guess, at Barry Keoghan's Joker. So let's get the scene on up and let's take a look at what we are getting with this deleted Arkham scene from the Batman. Oh, there's Robbie. So anytime you visit somebody in Arkham, you get put in one of these cells. Giving him something.
Present.
Oh man.
Almost our anniversary, isn't it?
Almost our anniversary, so one year since you put him in there.
I want your perspective. First anniversary, games, paper.
makes you think I come so cheap?
I thought you'd be curious.
You think I could offer this stuff?
Don't you?
You have pictures.
It's got scars and stuff all over him. I like his laugh.
Oh, it's violence. It's so baroque. Oh, he likes little puzzles, doesn't he? So meticulous. Like he's been planning this his whole life. I know who he is.
Oh. Who is he?
He's a nobody. Wants to be somebody. The mayor, the commissioner. Yeah. He's got ambition.
You think his motive is political?
Oh, no. This is very, very personal. He feels these people have all wronged him. Probably goes way back. Unhealed wounds, stolen lunch money.
Why is he writing to me?
Maybe he's a fan of yours? Or maybe he's got a grudge against you, too. Maybe you're the main course.
Oh man, Joker set that into his brain.
Not yet.
Really?
Wow.
You're normally so ahead of the curve. But something is different this time. This is very upsetting to you.
Let's get back to him.
Why? You're so much more fun.
I'm not here to talk about me.
What are you here to talk about?
I want to know how he thinks.
You know exactly how he thinks. Have you read this file? You two have so much in common. Masked Avengers. So he's even more righteous. Oh, are you afraid he makes you look soft?
You're wasting my time.
I like it. I like it a lot.
I really think. I think you don't really care about his motives, whether he loves or hates you. I think somewhere deep down, you're just terrified. Because you're not sure he's wrong, huh? You think they deserved it, huh? You think they deserved it.
Dude. Oh, I hope we get to see him again. I'm so intrigued by that performance. Wow. Wow, man. Wow. Now Reeves has also said that there's no guarantee that he ever comes back to KEOGHAN'S character. It's one of those things where you kind of want to put it in the world. It's something that you can definitely feel when you watch The Batman, how Reeves has littered the world with these characters. And, you could go back in time, after more of these movies come out and go, oh my gosh, that character was in the back. Like, it seems like Reeves has done that. And this was one of the things that kind of pointed to that. And there's no guarantee that he goes back. By all indications, I think it would be smart, and it seems like Reeves has hinted that he likes the idea of the character and maybe exploring Mr. Freeze, but I could totally see Freeze being your second movie. Maybe Joker could be your third movie, or you could have, a Rogues Gallery movie, where you have a bunch of these characters all involved. I mean, we had a bunch of them involved in this one, but something more in tune to the Long Halloween, where, you know, you have Batman just kind of dropping in on all of his different Rogues Gallery characters. It's one of the things I think the Arkham Asylum TV show can set up, and I think the idea that they're going back to Arkham and going to have this show makes it seem like it's very likely that we will see Keough again. Now, looking at that scene, there's a lot to take away and a lot to break down. For one, implications inside of the movie. Joker kind of puts the idea of Riddler having Batman as the main course into his head before we even get to the end of the movie. And it's one of those things where, like, we've pointed to that mistake, like Batman thinking that Riddler was going to out who he was, caused him to pull back, caused him to miss some things. Now you look at that context with the idea that Keough's version of Joker has put that idea into the Batman's head before he has any theories. I love that. Like, I love that so much. And again, even this in and of itself is showing you, like, the two sides of the same coin. You know what I mean? Like, as they're talking, you can see how Batman and Joker are very, very similar. And I love that you have Joker pointing that out about Riddler. And it's another one of the things that I think Reeves has worked very hard at in this movie, and it feels like in the world that he's building, where these supervillains exist because Batman exists, right? We dive into the organized crime stuff in this movie, and for the most part, Batman's taken down low-level thugs, street-level violence and crime, right? Like, somebody like Keough, he's not Joker yet. He's just a dude that had an encounter with Batman apparently a year before this movie, so the previous Halloween, or somewhere around the previous Halloween, because this seems like it would have been a couple days in, so like early November, you know, a year earlier. This is just a guy that he put in, and clearly a guy who did something violent and somewhat crazy to land in Arkham, but it's somebody that Batman can go, hey, look at this stuff, tell me what you think. And the fact that Joker is so in tune to just being, like, I mean, one, clearly this version is someone who is an outcast, you know, and someone who is so in tune to these crazy kind of thoughts and ideas of going after people like the people Riddler's going after. You can kind of see how he lines everything up, and then to be able to point out and just nail to the wall, like, oh, Riddler is reaching out to you because he's a fan. Like, you inspired him, clearly. Like, don't you see this? And even getting to the point where, like, Joker realizes, like, hey, Batman, you know these guys are all dirty. You kind of think they deserve what they got. You just need to go stop this guy. Like, all of that is just fascinating stuff. And from a character study, seeing a conversation like this between Joker and Batman. One, Joker should be predominantly heavy in the conversation because Batman don't talk very much, but you do get this vibe of, like, these guys are the same in lots of ways. It's just that one important way that they're not, and I think the scene shows that very, very well. There's your Batman, like, inside of the context of the Batman. Like, this scene holds important pieces of information and things that clearly played into Reeves' original script and how things run at the end of the movie, while removing it doesn't really take too much away from that. It certainly adds a lot more after you look at it. Now, let's talk Barry Keoghan. Performance-wise, first, I'm loving what he's doing. I think this very much feels like a character that could become the Joker. I think that he has the elements that you need for the character, and I think it is a version of this character before he comes the Prince of Crime, right? So, like, you're seeing this early stage version of Joker, something we've never really seen before. And you can see how the Batman and Arkham Asylum is going to create something out of this character. And I think from a performance standpoint, I think he's doing a lot of interesting things. I really like the laugh. You know, I think it's important to have a distinct laugh each go around, and I like what Keough was doing in the movie. So obviously, I like what he's doing here. I think from a performance standpoint, I think he's giving you a good vibe of someone who seems scatterbrained, seems crazy, seems like a lunatic, but is also extremely smart. Like the fact that he looks at Batman, it's like, did you read these files? Like, come on. Like, and it's this kind of interesting, not friendship, but like this relationship to play off of him. The way Keough is playing off Batman as if Batman is conversing with him and just kind of running. I love everything that he's doing. Now, the thing that everyone is going to be talking about is the look of Joker. And like I said, this is an unfinished product, right? Reeves didn't want to go with the vat of acid concept, wanted to come up with something that felt similar, to where Joker comes from, with the man who laughs. And giving him a congenital disease, I like that concept. Conceptually, when you've had, Jack Nicholson do the classic, Joker. You've had Heath Ledger redefine what the character can be. You've had Joaquin come in and do something that was completely unique and really original, and each one, like there's something different to it. There's been an evolution, and you see that evolution here. From the fact that you had the scars on the mouth to change the origin story with Ledger, and the laugh. Right, the laugh being the sickness of Joker from Joaquin, how painful that laugh could be. I think you get a combination of those two things in this concept of the Riddler, or of the Joker, where you're giving him a disease that is forcing his face into a smile all the time, whether he wants it or doesn't. And how that could lead to a character that becomes the Joker, I totally buy that. The look, I don't know if it's going to work for everybody, but in a pre-Joker version, I like what's going on, and if maybe you work in the vat of acid, maybe it cleans up some of those deformities, makes him play into the character even more. This doesn't have to be the final looking version of Joker, right? This could be a stage in that process, and for an early pre-Joker version, I like what Reeves is doing. It feels original. It feels inspired from the other Jokers. And all the elements to make him a unique version of the character are there. I would love just a clean shot of his face, right? Not being covered and you get it here and then bring my crazy looking mouth up. But it's, the other thing too, it gives me a little bit of a Barmejo vibe. And Lee Barmejo, actually, let's put that, Lee Barmejo dropped this in a story, either yesterday or today, of what his version of Keyhone would look like if he put it in a comic. Somebody write a Joker story for Barry Keoghan's version of Joker, so Lee Barmejo can draw this, please. But it does have kind of vibes to that Joker story. It's a different look and take, but it definitely feels like it's coming from that root and that area of Joker in the comics, as far as what could be inspiring Reeves there. And I dig that conceptually. And look, I think it's hard. You do see his whole face, and it is a different take. It's not like anything that we've really seen before, but I appreciate going unique. I appreciate going, something that clearly is inspired by a bunch of things, but is its own take. If you're gonna go back to the Joker at some point in time, you got to be original with it, and you got to bring a new flavor, a new story, a new version to add to the canon, right? And I think that's what they're going for here. And I think, like I said, if we ever get Joker as Joker, he might not look like that. You might see something that works a little bit more when you can fully see him. But for the beginning stages and introducing Joker in a way where he's not the main villain of the movie, where you're just kind of getting to see him first, I personally dig what Reeves is doing. And when you have a character that's like that, right, and somebody who's had to deal with these scars and this deformation his whole life, that in and of itself, if you're trying to take a realistic approach to the comic stuff and not do it like Nolan did, but kind of exactly like Reeves did, right? This feels like it's tangible, but it's injected with that DNA. Having that type of a disease could lead to someone to get to the brain of Joker. So I'm digging it, man. I'm digging it. I love the performance. I hope we get to see Keoghane again. I would really like to see him flesh this out. I hope they put Keoghane in this Arkham series. I hope, we maybe see some other characters. The thing I really want from the Arkham series is don't give me any of the other big ones, right? Because we got Riddler and we got Joker in there already. But give me a Calendar Man, a Kite Man. I know Kite Man is coming, but yeah, thank you, Peacemaker. But give us, Condiment King. Give me some interesting characters in Arkham that those two, Riddler and Joker, could kind of play off of and start to grow from. There's just so much in the world for Matt Reeves to play with. I absolutely love it. But I'm gonna shut my yap now because I've been talking way too long, man. They gave us a 5-minute clip of Batman and Joker. Just talking, man. dug that a lot. Now I want to know what you're thinking. Have you seen The Batman? If you watch this video and you haven't seen The Batman, I'm sorry, we just spoiled a lot of things, but that's on you. But if you have seen The Batman, what did you think of Keoghane in the movie? And now that we've seen a full scene with him and Batman, what do you think of this version of Joker? Is this a character that you could see become Joker? Remember, this is early stages. This is not Joker yet, but this is somebody that could be coming. Do you see that here? What do you think of the look? Is the hair and all of the scarring and the stuff going on with his face, is it too much? Where do you feel like Reeves is pulling from? Do you feel Bermejo? Do you feel other inspirations to this version of the Joker? And what do you think of Keoghane's performance? Is it something that is worthwhile? Something that you want to see this movie go back to? It's one of the things that Reeves was very adamant about, that this was not a tease to the next movie or a tease to anything else. We might never come back to Keoghane. But if this is something that you're interested in, I certainly want to know that. So anything you got, good, bad, indifferent, on the deleted Arkham Asylum scene featuring Batman and the Joker from The Batman, down below in the comments section. Look forward to talking to you down there. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you're new, you want to come hang out with C-Man anytime we're talking movies, TV, trailer, reactions, clip analyses. You just want to be here for I'm talking to Batman a lot, all sorts of Batman content. You want to be here for all of that stuff, anything that we got coming up that's new. I've seen some other movies other than the Batman, some more reviews are on the way. You want to be here for that. You just enjoy when I'm talking movies, TV, trailer, reactions. You haven't, you want to come join C-Maniac Nation? Well, hey, super easy. Jump over there, hit that subscribe button, hit that little bell if you want those alerts, and until next time, for the C-Man's Cinema, sit down. I've been the C-Man. I'm signing off. Peace. Oh, hey, what's going on? You must be sticking around because you're looking for more content featuring this guy. Well, guess what? You're in the right place. You can check out more videos right here and right here. And if you have and you want to come join that C-Maniac Nation, you can hit that subscribe right over there.